They ain't leaving no crumbs on the table, and black folks, you ain't getting away with nothing. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on BrainFLoTv /Hot Topics TV. You already know, if the topic is hot, we are on it. Brother Peter Thomas is going to prison. Jesus Christ. According to People, the Real Housewives of Atlanta alumni Peter Thomas just pled guilty to tax fraud, and he was sentenced to 18 months in prison. A verdict on Peter Thomas's tax fraud case has been reached. Peter could not get out of this one without some prison time. It's messed up, because any time in prison at 64 years old, that's nasty work. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison after pleading guilty to tax fraud, and now he is on his way. Following his sentence, Thomas, who is the ex-husband of Cynthia Bailey, he will undergo 2 years of supervised release, and he will have to pay back $2.5 million in restitution. Well, he won't have to pay it back because he didn't steal it or take it from them in that amount. He owed it to them, as in you supposed to pay taxes. Broke old little old me pay a lot of taxes. He's supposed to pay taxes too, but he found some way to get around not paying the taxes, and they worked it out to the tune of $2.5 million. Jeez. Well, his sentencing comes after the Baltimore Banner reported that a federal prosecutor memo regarding his case aimed to justify a prison sentence on December 10th. Peter, owner of Bar One Restaurants, was accused of failing to pay employment taxes for his businesses, and instead he spent just under $375,000 on traveling and ride-sharing services, as well as another $250,000 on luxury goods shopping spree from Neiman Marcus, from Prada, from Louis Vuitton, from Givenchy, and more. You out here busting down $375,000 in travels and another $250,000 in shopping spree, and you owe these people tax money and you not paying it, and it's traceable. Of course, they're coming for it. One thing is for sure, in the United States of America, Uncle Sam wants his cut, homie. This is a flagrant violation of his federal payroll tax obligations over many years that served to unjustly enrich his companies and himself by millions of dollars, and deprive the federal government fund used to provide important retirement and disability benefits to employees. This is what the memo said when it was read in court. According to the outlet, the sentencing memo stated that the entrepreneur was motivated by greed, adding that he defied the tax laws, expanding his business, hiring more people, increasing overhead, and adding more business locations at the expense of his legal obligations. So because he was not paying his taxes, he was able to open up new joints, new locations, and hire more people, and, expand. If he was paying his taxes properly, he wouldn't have the finances to be doing all that. Now, in the summer, Peter also pled guilty to failing to pay trust fund taxes after he was accused of evading taxes for several of his businesses between 2017 and 2023. Hey, he's a businessman for sure, because when they speak of him and his business, they say his businesses. And he failed to pay federal taxes for several of his businesses. One day before receiving his sentence, the former reality TV star shared a message regarding his decision to plead guilty in a video that was shared to Instagram. And it said, "I'll be making an appearance in the United States government federal courthouse here in Charlotte, North Carolina, to face the music of consistently withholding taxes for my businesses over a 10-year period or for 10 years. I thought it was something that I could rectify by getting on that payment plan and paying it back, but apparently it doesn't work like that," is what he said. You know, I think Peter felt like, I'm going to take this money, and if they catch me, I got money in the bank, so I'm just going to say, hey, okay, my bad. You caught me. I'll pay it back. Just put me on a payment plan, $5,000 a month, whatever. I'll pay back your money. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. In his caption, he told other small business owners, y'all better learn from my mistake. Public announcement, most people are confused when it came to paying withholding taxes. I'm here to set the record straight. Yes, you will go to jail. Yes, you will have to pay taxes, he said. Also, jail don't mean that taxes is forgiven. All young business owners, please learn from my mistake, he said. I think this was a part of his plea deal where he had to make some kind of public announcement and, admit to his wrongs and also send a message out of a deterrent to other small business owners, especially others like himself, of his persuasion, if you know what I mean. And he did that, and then he'll be off to do a little over, a year and a half in prison at 64 years old. Jeez. Anyways, moving right along. Let's talk about the former chief advisor for New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Holy shite, Batman. The former chief advisor for Eric Adams has been now indicted. Yeah, in a $100,000 bribery scheme. Ingrid Martin, seeing her being escorted into Manhattan criminal court on the 19th of December 2024 in New York, it looked messed up. Her head was held high. She had on a business suit with that leopard print under it, kind of like matching her hair. She actually looks like somebody did her makeup and hair, and this is like out of a movie role. She looked damn good, but her hands are handcuffed behind her back as she walks in, assisted by two individuals on either side of her, two law enforcement agents, with their badges showing, by the way. So the story says a former chief advisor to New York's Mayor Eric Adams, she surrendered to city prosecutors on Thursday to face criminal charges related to an ongoing investigation of the mayor and his circle. They are bent on putting Eric Adams in prison. Shout out to Donald Trump, though, because Donald Trump already said, I don't know, I might have to pardon him, kind of thing. Donald basically said, I haven't really looked into the intricate details of the situation, but from what I know so far, from what I can tell, it's a bit shaky. Like, you want to throw a man in prison for taking an upgrade on an airplane. All of us have done it, right? You're somebody that's well known and you go to take a flight and somebody recognizes you and go, oh, you're Mayor Eric Adams from New York, New York's mayor. Okay, let's bump you up from business class to first class. Do you want it? Nobody says no. Should I spend time in prison for that? Anyways, back to the story at hand. So Ingrid Lewis-Martin, a powerful advisor for the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, her son, Glenn Martin II, a.k.a. Suave Luciano, and 2 real estate investors were indicted in an influence peddling $100,000 bribery. I don't know why the hell her son got a name like Suave Luciano. Is he gangster or is he trying to be gangster? Anyhow, Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, alleged in a statement that Lewis-Martin had used her authority to engage in a long-running bribery, money laundering, and conspiracy scheme by using her position and her authority to illegally influence Department of Buildings and other city decisions in exchange for more than $100,000 in cash and benefits for herself and for her son, Glenn Martin. According to court documents, Lewis-Martin and her son traded on the access and influence of her position with 2 New York business owners, Raizada Vaid and Mayank Dwivedi, to speed through construction permits for a rooftop bar and a hotel. Prosecutors called Lewis-Martin the second most senior person in City Hall and said that she abused her position and sold her influence to enrich herself and her family. This indictment, unsealed today, the 19th of December 2024, can be summarized in 3 words: quid pro quo, Bragg told reporters. Jocelyn Strauber, New York City Department of Investigation Commissioner, said that when city officials monetize their office for personal gain, they undermine fundamental principles of integrity in government. They diminish trust in the public officials, and they unfairly tarnish the reputation of the countless other city employees who actually use their office solely to serve the good of the public. Lewis-Martin and her son allegedly made attempts to cover up the conspiracy by asking the participants to communicate on Signal, a third-party encrypted messaging app, and to use coded language whenever they were discussing business. Oh yeah, she all the way in and up to her neck. Lewis-Martin's She allegedly received 2 $50,000 checks. This is her son, Lewis-Martin's son. He allegedly received 2 $50,000 checks from his co-conspirators in August of 2023. 2 $50,000 checks. And he deposited both of them in a bank account that he held jointly with his mother. $50,000 was transferred to a DJ production company, and that money was used to buy a Porsche. What is up with black folks? And I'm saying this because I'm black and I'm watching my people go through it because of material things. Is it because when we were growing up, we ain't really had nothing? And a lot of us come from impoverished backgrounds. So now we're like, I want the most expensive Porsche. I want to be shopping in Givenchy and Louis Vuitton. I want to be flying private jet to all these places, exotic travels. Because look at the same situation with Peter of the story we just covered. Peter spent a lot of money on luxury shopping, fine dining, and taking flights to exotic locations. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that amounted to a couple $1 million. And here we are. Lewis-Martin's son allegedly received 2 $50,000 checks from his co-conspirators in August of 2023, and the feds tracked it, and they deposited it into the bank account that he held with his mom jointly. Now his mama is in trouble too. $50,000 of that was transferred to a DJ production company, and the money was used to buy a Porsche. The case is separate from the federal charges that Adams, the New York City mayor, is facing of over alleged corruption involving luxury travel gift in exchange for expediting the New York Fire Department to approve the opening of a new high-rise Turkish consulate. Wow. So that's what Mayor Adams' thing is about. We'll do you some favors on a Turkish airline. You can fly wherever you want to go. Every time you cross our airline, we'll slash you big discounts, stay in upgrades all the time. In exchange, you will expedite the paperwork so we could approve the opening of this new high-rise Turkish consulate in New York. Lewis-Martin's attorney, Arthur Aidala, told WABC News on Monday ahead of Lewis-Martin's surrender to the authorities that the pieces of the puzzle are going to be put together to make it look as horrible as possible. But it ain't. But we know the truth. And the truth is that Ingrid Lewis-Martin, she never broke the law. At the same press conference, Lewis-Martin denied knowledge of any influence peddling scheme. I have not made any arrangements in advance to take any gifts or any money from anyone at any time, or have any gift or money given to any family member or a friend in order for me to do my job, she said. So what it looked like is her son was into some business, and her son might have used mama's influence to conduct business, and her son put the money in an account where she shares that account jointly with her son. Maybe she looked in the account and she saw a lot of money. Did she ask him where did $100,000 pop up from overnight? Or maybe she just thought her grown man's son was doing very good at the business that he does. Either way, she is the second most influential person in City Hall. She is the mayor's right-hand advisor, his chief advisor. And she is now in handcuffs as well and facing the music. Listen. Y'all leave your comments in the comment section below. I'm going to keep close to both of these stories. Well, we know that Peter is going to prison and his is pretty much solved. I'll keep close eye on this one and see how this turns out. Will she be exonerated and her son will be prosecuted by himself? Or is this a case of they are going to sink the son and send the mother sinking with him? We'll see. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's BrainFLoTv / Hot Topics TV. You already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.